is ITV News at 10 with Mark Austin and Julie Etchingham.
Good evening, paedophiles.
Nope, not going to say that. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this. It's not an EAFC 2-4 live stream. This is a UEFA Champions League watch-along. Because other, more famous, richer, handsomer people will be doing Manchester United. Here we are, watching the Arsenal game. The Arsenal, they always try to walk it in, do the Arsenal. Ooh, Wenger 8. Those people who are on the YouTubes all the time saying scandalous things about their football club that they don't mean, but they do for clicks anyway. You know what I'm talking about? Up the arse indeed. How are we all doing? Where are we watching? We're watching the Sevilla stadium at the moment, which is an epileptic's worst nightmare, to be honest with you, with these flashing lights. It's absolutely terrifying, but there we go. Such is the modern game. Hopefully, none of that at St. James's Park tomorrow. Good evening, Julie Etchingham. Oh, yeah, it's her off the news, isn't it? I hear that every single time I stream, and I still have to think who that was. Arsenal. Arsenal. I don't know what I'm doing here. Where are we all watching from tonight? The teams are in the tunnel. And obviously our thoughts and condolences are with that lass who went to Amsterdam on a stag/hen do. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I feel like I want to nominate that for the Podcast's Hall of Fame this week, but I also feel like I can't because children watch. And sometimes I push the boundaries a bit too far and then get sent a nice picture of a child watching our content, and I'm like, I'm just ruining people's lives from a young age onwards. Up the New England. At least Adam Telfer knows what I'm talking about. Arizona win. Newcastle upon time, to say it correctly. R.I.P. Ben Kilwright. Ben Kilwright? Bill Kenwright. My God, I'm not awake. My mouth hasn't worked all day long. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional now. But yeah, I was ashamed to see that today. He seemed like a nice fella. I know that football doesn't really matter in these sort of times, but I bet there's a whole lot of Everton fans feeling terrible today. Some of the things I've said about him when he's clearly been going through a bit of a tough time. I think he was 77 years old. A fine old age to go out at. The teams are walking out. We'll get the scoreboard ready. Oh, it's already there. Sergio Ramos will get a red card. I don't know if he will, you know. That's not like him to get a red card. There's someone with a Saka sign in what appears to be the home end. Modern footballer. I've never seen the like of it. What a stadium it is, though. I don't even know what the teams are. I'm not going to explain that thing from Amsterdam. It's worth a search on Twitter. If you see a WhatsApp, like a WhatsApp conversation on Twitter, hit play, it's a video. Worth a listen, it's a roller coaster of a ride, but I don't think I can say it on the podcast, unfortunately. All I would search would be Amsterdam and Glory Hole to get that WhatsApp conversation window up. Viewer discretion is advised, obviously. But there you go. You live and learn, don't you, in these sort of situations? I mean, the girl in this situation certainly did, as did the man who was involved in the situation. Just looking here, that Harry Kane has scored again. It would appear on the road for Bayern Munich at Galatasaray. They look like they're sailing through in that group now, don't they? Inter Milan 2, Red Bull Salzburg 1. Alex Mumby is currently listening to the WhatsApp voice notes. It is a family affair, some might say. But yeah, just there might be kids watching. Keep it clean. Not like she did. She didn't keep it clean. Neither did he. It's a horrible, sorry affair. It's a family breaker, is what it is. There's no coming back from that. I don't know how you would even put yourself in her or his shoes. My God. Why is Messi being blamed for how Sergio Ramos is? Probably because he would dribble round him all the time. And Sergio Ramos couldn't keep up. I'm not entirely sure. Right. The teams. Sevilla have Neuland in goal, who used to play for Villa, I'm sure. That's unbelievable to see him there. Jesus Navas is still alive. Ramos, Acuna at left back. Then we've got Sao Samare and Rakitic, Ocampos, El Naziri, who I like very much as a footballer, and Luque Bacchio. Luque Bacchio. Never heard of him, to be fair. Oh, Christmas wouldn't be happening. Christmas can't happen in that family. Anyway, let's forget about her. Condolences to... I mean, you're listening to that voice note thing, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be the stag, cheating in a weird way, but then it gets a hell of a lot worse right at the end. Jesus Navas is the captain of Sevilla. He's exchanging flags with Martin Odegaard currently. I can't believe that Neuland's in nets for Sevilla. He wasn't very good, was he? Was he at Reading? I'm going to have to look at this. Neuland, Aston Villa. I don't know why I just type in Sevilla. Aston Villa, Sevilla. Orjan Neuland, I think you pronounce it. What a career. Hod, Mulder, Ingolstadt. Oh, here's the Arsenal team. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Odegaard, Jorginho, Rice, Martinelli, G. Jesus, and Saka. He's gone full strength just about. If you can call David Raya full strength after his little bit of a wobble recently. I mean, there's nothing you can do about Mudryk. That's a complete shank. Anyone who believes that's a goal needs their eyes readjusted, lasered off, I don't know. But that was never a direct attempt from old Mudryk there. But he's a couple of shaky moments in recent weeks, hasn't he? He's made more mistakes this season than Aaron Ramsdale did, and Aaron Ramsdale got dropped. So what message is that sending? I know that, obviously, maybe privately, Mikel Arteta said to Aaron Ramsdale, sorry, Aaron, I'm bringing in Mr. Raya. I'm going to let him bed in at the football club for a few weeks. Then once he's nice and comfortable, he'll be in the team and you'll be out. That call might have happened behind the scenes, but I don't know. But just purely on what we've seen on the pitch, I reckon he can feel very hard done by Aaron Ramsdale. Anyway, we're kicking off. Labash. That's where I am in the game. Try and avoid spoilers in the chat if you can, if you are ahead. I don't know what I'm expecting from this game. Sevilla are always good in Europe, aren't they? They're just one of those teams. They're just one of those teams who are always good in Europe. Obviously, Arsenal back in the Champions League for the first time in a long old while, so we'll see how this one goes. Taking a risk, drinking a can of Pepsi Max, which contains caffeine, at 8 o'clock in the evening. My goodness. It's the last time I'll do that, I'm sorry. I reckon this will be Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2. That's what I'm going for. Down the Pepsi? I don't think so. I didn't think so. Imagine the burps there. I'd explode. I'd combust. Been a scrappy affair for the opening minute, but now Sevilla are on the break. Is this Acuna going down the wing? Hopefully he's related to Clarence. But yeah, Neuland. Before Sevilla, he was at RB Leipzig last season and made 2 appearances. In 2022, he was at Reading and made 10 appearances. Bournemouth before that, 21-22 season, 1 appearance. 2021, he had a spell at Norwich. Between 18 and 20, which is where I know him from, was Aston Villa. 30 appearances. That would have been, well, a combination of Championship and Premier League for them. Hi Ross, I ditched Pachiti stream for you. Don't make it a thing. I've never really talked to him about like going live at the same time as him, but there's no malice intended. I'm just at the match tomorrow night, so I can't keep up my promise of doing one sort of stream per game round. I'm well aware I missed the Premier League game round at the weekend, but the TV schedules didn't work in my favour because I was at the match on Saturday, then was out on Saturday night. Sunday's game wasn't up to much, and then Monday I was busy as well. What was I doing? I was working last night. Catching up on a few notes and whatnot. Been a busy day of filming today, if you're into that there wrestling, but that's not the place for that right now. Also, you can't change when you stream. He can't change either. It's called See You Next Tuesday. What's he meant to do? You can't do it on a Thursday because Sam does a Thursday. That's mainly why I've set up Hold and Give, because there's no room on the schedule for me. Now that everybody streams and I stop streaming for a period. Spurs will bottle the league, Spursy. I'm just sitting here feeling quite smug, knowing that I predicted Spurs to be my dark horse of the season in the opening prediction video for this campaign. Big fan of Ange, like the cut of his jib, so to speak. You could have done Saturday, Sunday. No, I've just explained why I couldn't. Ross reacting to an Arsenal match. Can't believe my luck. Well, we'll see how that ages as the game goes on. When it's come to me in Champions League games so far, they've been quite, apart from AC Milan and Newcastle, where AC Milan should have scored about 25 goals. They've always been boring, and therefore boring games to react to, boring games to stream. So it's not set a good tone for this game here this evening. I reckon if Harry Kane leaves Spurs and then Spurs win the league, I'd retire if I was Harry Kane. He's left there to win trophies, which he's guaranteed, obviously, join Bayern at München. What is Tomiyasu doing centre forward? Saka's been put into the stands. You like to see it early in the game. Let him know you're there. Go on, stick your foot in. That's what they used to say down in London back in the 90s. You can't do that anymore now, though, because officials will penalise you straight away. Yeah, Emmett mentioning there the Milan versus Inter semi-final in last season's Champions League as Jesus looks to wriggle clear, but he can't quite. It was so bad of a game. I forget if it was the first or second leg. It might have been the second, because I'm sure the first finished 0-0 potentially. Ooh, Raya. He's judged it well. He's judged it well. It was such a bad game that I turned it off before Inter scored. I think Inter must have won the second leg 1-0. I can't remember that far back, to be honest with you. But it was that bad, I turned it off and put Luton versus Sunderland. Sunderland. From the Championship playoffs on, because it was a more entertaining game. And missed the goal, missed the final 10 or 15 minutes or so. It was awful. An awful game of football. Has Kayla had any trouble with floods in Ipswich? She hasn't, thankfully. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your granddad. I saw a video from Sheffield, which I know is a long way, as Tomiyasu plays it in the box. Odegaard keeps it alive on the edge. But yeah, I saw a video from Sheffield where it was right up someone's like back door. It was right up someone's like patio doors in their back garden, like halfway up, and somehow the doors were keeping out. It was Tomiyasu, I think that is, at Martinelli. It was Tomiyasu. I couldn't believe my eyes, but it was Tomiyasu. Yeah, it was halfway up their patio doors in the back garden, the floodwater. Luckily we've had, as far as I could see, little to nothing in the northeast. Thankfully, I'm on a big hill here. Up the hills. He's fine. My cousin said they will help him out, but he refused to leave. It's that generation, isn't it? Stubborn. It's like they'll lose an arm. Oh, it's just a scratch. That's just the way they are. Yeah, my hometown had a bit of a worry. People were getting worried about, your car. If you know Morpeth Town, anyone in the chat? Does anyone in the chat know Morpeth Town? It's a very niche place, I know. A very niche place. It's a very small town in the northeast of England. It's where I grew up. But yeah, down where Fortune Cookie is in the car park. If you want to Google map it. That entire car park outside the old leisure centre flooded. Thousands of older people in the flats around that area. Sweating. Worried. Where Raoul Moat was shot? Nearly. He was in Rothbury, which was about 5 miles above Morpeth, famously. As I'm sure I might have mentioned on camera, I had my little Ford Fiesta searched for Raoul Moat when he was on the loose at Fairmoor Petrol Garage on the outskirts of Morpeth. He wasn't in there, just to clarify, as the officers found in my little Ford Fiesta Finesse 04 plate. WD04 XGT. Windy windows, no aircon. Tinted windows, though. Martinelli's in. Saved, and it bounces back off Martinelli and goes behind for a goal kick. Neuland shutting me right up. He's bloody rapid, is that Martinelli. There's some analysis for you. It's Tomiyasu into Jesus on the halfway line. He looks like he's in, but he's not quite. He plays through Martinelli. He should score, really. It's a good save. Keeper spreads himself well. I didn't realise, by the way, Neuland has been playing for the Norwegian international side since 2013, for 10 years now, and he's got 50 caps. Unbelievable. I went to Morpeth to collect some slipper from a shop once. What does that mean? Is that a euphemism for something? Robert Morrison, the man who translated the Bible into Chinese, was born in Morpeth. Fantastic. I guess the other most famous resident of Morpeth, apart from yours truly, obviously, is Emily Davison, the lass who chucked herself on the horse racing track. Mine's gone blank today. I'm having a terrible day in terms of speaking sense. Was she a suffragette? I'm sure that might be the wrong way to describe what she was. Whoa! A Campos at near post flicked behind. But yeah, it might have been at the Grand National. And she chucked herself on the track to stop the race and send a message. Thank God for that. You always get worried of using the wrong word in those sort of terms. Oh, slippers. I literally collected slippers I ordered from a Tory shop in Morpeth. There might be a couple of them, to be fair. Obviously, I'm not one of them. I'm as common as muck me. But if you go around the areas of Morpeth, your Blythes, your Bedlingtons, places like that, people from Morpeth, for some reason, have got the reputation of being posh farmers. I can't believe it. From a single-parent household, a Ford Fiesta 04 plate is the first car, windy windows, no aircon. I bucked the trend. I'm a rough farmer. Bayern Munich 1-2, 3-1. 3-1, 2-1. Harry Kane scored. Kel Surprise. 3-1 it was to Bayern Munich. 2-1 into Milan against Salzburg. And that's the only games that have happened so far today. Tell us about Admirable... Fucking... what is happening today? Vice Admiral... Cuthbert Collingwood. I don't know, but there's Collingwood Street. Is it Collingwood Street? There's something to do with Collingwood on the way to the high school in Morpeth. Jesus is on the edge of the box now. I should probably react to the game some more. But to be fair, both teams have been knocking it around the middle of the park for a period and then just breaking. Then there's a shot, then we go back to the middle of the pitch. That's the sort of pattern of the game so far. Arsenal are nicking it about at the moment, though. Tiki-taka stuff. Trying to play their way out Sevilla, but they've been caught just outside the edge of their own box. Ben White and his horrible new hair. Plays it back to Jorginho. Crystal Palace are the best team in London. Well, if that's the case, London are not very good. Because my beloved Newcastle United hoofed them at the weekend. They were awful, Crystal Palace. I know they were missing Eze and Elise, but my God, I didn't think they were that bad. I'm just a bit concerned because we've been fairly heavily linked with both Gehi and Anderson. And they were... I know players have bad games and whatnot. I do like the pair of them, but they were absolutely torrid at the weekend, if that was their audition. This seems to be Arsenal's big sort of pattern of play to kick things off. Tomiyasu down the line. Whether it be more centrally towards Jesus in the centre forward role or straight to Martinelli. They seem to want to target Jesus Navas, which I guess makes sense because he is 57 years of age. Yeah, he is great for the hats. He is fantastic. There is a half-time quiz. I'm just looking at Sporkle. And I try to keep them on brand, on topic for the game we're watching, so we never run out of content on there, which I know we're not going to do anyway. But the most played ones is a one called Football 11s. And I think we'll do this one. Can you name the Football 11s Arsenal FC from 99-2000 until 23-24? So basically, you just got to name Arsenal players from the past 20-odd years. 23, 24 years. There's some maths for you. So I'll get that set up. Go away, Sporkle, with your messages. Don't do it now, Emmett. You know it's a half-time thing. It's the half-time entertainment. We're not doing any quiz by names and stuff like that because that backfired last week with our... Was it last week or the week before when we did the... what name was it? Was it Phil? Ben? Bill? Billy! That was what it was. A quiz of famous Billies. Turns out I don't know me Billies like I thought I did. God, that's how small it's going to be. There we go. That'll have to do. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many Bills there are you're not familiar with. There's several Bills. Bill Oddie wasn't even part of the quiz, which I thought was a shock. Saka knows what he's doing there, backing into Sau. Making him fall over in the midst of a header. Both feet off the floor, backing into him. Disgusting play from Saka. Who do you think he is? Harry Kane? It's been a fairly entertaining game so far. Arsenal should be winning. Reyes giving the ball away again in a very dangerous area, looking for a fancy pass to the far side. Ocampos looking to get through. He's a very underrated player, him, that Ocampos. It feels like every time they've got a big game, he's someone who turns up. Oh, my God. Right, Martinelli on the break. Who's that number 24 for Sevilla? He was unbelievable. Oh, it's Samari on loan from Leicester. That's Samari. He's just not wiped out. He's just taken on 3 Arsenal players at the same time and just whizzle-wazzled them. Fantastic stuff. Famous Jimmies. Oh, dear. I'm still living that down from the wrestling podcast last week. I'm assuming this is largely a cultaholic watching viewership this evening. I compared Akira Tozawa to Jimmy Savile. I can't believe I said it out loud. Thought about it so much. But last week on Raw, he was Jimmy. He had the headband on. He was doing the movements. There you go. Emma can see it as well. Referee stop play here by getting his fat arse in the way. I'm being harsh there. He's a very slender man. I can't believe that's Samare from Leicester. 45 league games in 2 years for Leicester. 14 caps for the French in the 21s, and he goes and does that to 3 Arsenal midfielders at once. Whew. I don't think Tozawa's a wrong un. I just think Tozawa takes inspiration in his fitness regime from a much maligned figure. Well, no. He takes inspiration from a big dirty nonce. That's what he does. Anyway, football. Arsenal's got a throw with Ben White and his horrible new hair. Plays it to Jorginho, who just hoofs it long. Sevilla players running into each other. Ocampos on the wing. Football on show here. It's nice to see Sergio Ramos back in the Sevilla shirt. You like to see it. He would have had umpteen offers, I bet, from Saudi Arabia. And he's gone back to where it all began. It's romance. The romance of the soccer. I remember signing him on like Football Manager, I want to say 2005? From Sevilla? When did he join Madrid? My mouth's gone again. I might be having a stroke here. What number is he these days? He's number 4. Sergio Ramos. He went to Madrid in 05. So yeah, it must have been Football Manager 05, the first one I ever purchased. Navas with a ball in, but he can't find anybody. Ocampos a bit narrow. Well, that's a foul on Saka by Acuna, who I hope is some relation to Clarence Acuna, the former Newcastle player. They have the same name. Oh, he's from Argentina. He might be a distant cousin. Who's he played for? Sporting Lisbon? Racing Club? Is that Santander or the one in Argentina? It's the one in Buenos Aires. I thought it was the guy who also scored the... Was that Acuna? Because that was the start last season, wasn't it? It was the guy... Oh, who was it? I don't think it was Acuna. It was the centre-half. Bloody hell. Montiel, that's the one. Yeah, he scored the winner in the World Cup final and the winner in the Europa League final, didn't he? In the same season. History maker. Jesus looking for a foul, but he's not getting one for that. The big softy. It's been a decent start of the game. 20 minutes has flown by. I barely feel like I've been sat here for 2. Maybe even 3. How does he end up in Nottingham Forest after that sort of season? How does he score the winning penalty in the World Cup final? The winning penalty... Or was it that... It might have been the next to winning penalty. The one to set up the... I can't remember. It was more than a week ago. I'm struggling. But how does he have that sort of season and end up at Nottingham Forest? No disrespect to Daniel in the chat who's got a Nottingham Forest badge as his profile picture. But how does that happen? Oh, Raya again messing things up. He's going to kill the art of playing out from the back, that man, the way he's going. Nearly as bad as Onana. Again, I go back to the point that Aaron Ramsdale made a lot less... Well, he made no mistakes at the start of this season. And he got dropped. I wouldn't mind Newcastle getting Ramsdale, to be honest with you. Maybe next season. I think January's too soon. Pope, he doesn't deserve to get dropped. I just think that Ramsdale's a more complete goalkeeper in terms of what the managers want from their goalkeepers. Because whenever Newcastle pass it back to Nick Pope, God. Even if there's no opposition player within 20 yards of him, I'm still nervous. I'm not saying he hasn't been great, I'm just saying, when it comes to kicking a football, he can't do it, and kicking a football is quite a big part of playing football. Go on then, Arsenal might be in here. Jesus in the box looking for the bender, but it's high wide and Alan Hansen. I don't understand why they signed Raya. I do. It was a common theme last season, wasn't it? That all the stats that are measured about goalkeepers, Raya was slightly above Aaron Ramsdale in all of them, wasn't he? I think he's a good goalkeeper, Ray. Just the fact that he's given the ball away too many times in too many dangerous positions at the moment. You know, we look at his actual goalkeeping with his hands and making saves and whatnot. He's been fantastic. It's just, unless I'm misremembering something. And no, if you are new here, I'm going to reiterate. Mudrik's goal at the weekend was a complete and utter fluke. It was not a shot on target. That being said, though, I can see why Arteta went out and got a goalkeeper. Just the way it felt like after that Liverpool game when Ramsdale made that unreal save at the end, or saves at the end, kept the point for Arsenal. It just felt like after that he lost the plot completely, didn't he? A few mistakes crept into his game. Has anyone denied what, Alex Mumby? I've got a song in my head. I hate it when I hear a song for the first time. Then I have to play the same song 70 million times. Because there's a feeling in my head that needs to be tickled. And it can only be tickled by playing this new song I've discovered. Over and over and over again. I'd rather have a slightly worse goalkeeper who's less prone to mistakes than one who is amazing but prone to them. God, that's a hard one to work out. You'd rather have a less good goalkeeper who is less prone to mistakes than a good goalkeeper who is prone to mistakes. So surely that makes the goalkeeper a bad goalkeeper, certainly worse than the goalkeeper who isn't as good. De Gea is a prime example, but he dropped off massively. Those final 2 or 3 years. I know he got the Golden Glove last year, but, you know, defending and goals against is not just the goalkeeper. It's the entire team, isn't it? It's the defensive setup, the defensive play. As Samare spreads it out wide. Acuna in, but Saliba away. This Samare has been everywhere. Has he got a case of the Ndombeles? Not quite right for the Premier League, but elsewhere he's unbelievable. I mean, 14 under 21 caps for France is nothing to be shaken at. Maybe it's just a case of not really getting things done in the Premier League. Because when he was at Leicester, I can never remember him being one of the standouts. Do I think Tonali will be banned for 10 months? I thought it was going to be a year. I did see the stories coming out today saying it was going to be 10 because he helped with the process. But yeah, I think his season and the Euros is over, isn't it? Rice has got a pocket of space now. He's in the box. He's done well. Cuts it back, but it's dealt with. Did Ivan Toney bet on his own team? Because I think that's obviously, you know, I think that's the thing that's setting Tonali apart from Toney. Because I can't remember if Toney did bet on his own team. I don't think Toney did. I mean, Toney was on that podcast, was he? Said he was taking the bullet for somebody else. The proverbial bullet. As Arsenal now have a corner. Won by Jesus in the corner. As a Newcastle fan, and obviously, you know, it's clear that Tonali's got like a bit of an issue with this. Reading reports from people who knew him when he was a youngster and stuff like I've been seeing this week. I just hope that AC Milan knew, and that's why Newcastle didn't have too much of an issue of signing Tonali. That's the only thing Newcastle can salvage from this situation, is the fact that at least it didn't happen when he was here, as far as we know. And maybe AC Milan knew. Oh. Arsenal looking for a short routine between Martinelli and Jesus. But it gets a bit messed up and goes out for a goal kick. Because, yeah, surely if AC Milan knew and they were just like, well, they've offered 60 million, let's get rid of him. Because it did, when it happened, it did come so much out of nowhere. You're questioning how did it happen so quickly. Not knowing what's going on the inside, of course, but... I mean, the thing is with Tonali as well, he's not been playing he has been playing, but not as often as you would think a 60 million signing from AC Milan would be playing. You'd like to think he wouldn't be doing it here, but there's obviously the possibility when you've got something like that going on. Is Sevilla break forward with Samara once again, who's been everywhere. Bandit is awake, everybody, as Saka is on the break. Martinelli on the far side is not marked. Saka taking his time though, cuts inside, hits it right up Rakitich's arse. That's a hard thing to say. Socks the waving cat with big breaking news and libelous news as well. I used to place baits. Place baits? My God, Ross. Place bets for a rugby league player. Which one, Socks the waving cat, you coward? Do footballers need help for gambling issues, or is just some footballers feeling untouchable? It might be a bit stupid. I mean, you would hope to think it wasn't the secondary bit. I like that Paul Merson's opened my eyes to it. I mentioned it on the Hold and Give Football podcast recently. There was a video Merson did with that pie face Twitch streamer. And they spoke about their gambling addiction and like how it is actually an addiction and the sort of scenarios they would leave themselves in. And Merson, when he was playing for Arsenal, left himself without... He either had to buy carpet, I think it was, or go and put bets on. And he went and put bets on. And he was just there with a bare wooden floor. I've not read Keith Gillespie's book. He was borrowing money off Newcastle players, my God. I bet he didn't tell them why he was borrowing money as well. Half an hour gone, this game has flown by. It's been a very fast-paced game for one involving a Spanish side. Most of it played in midfield. Arsenal should be 1-0 up through Martinelli. Ray has been very, very shaky with his passing out from the back. I'm sure you've asked that before. What's the buy-in score? If you're here to take the piss, piss off. I don't see the problem if they're betting on competitions they're not involved in. There should be financial advisors players, yeah. I mean, I agree with, because Merson did a big thing about the other day, obviously having gone through the stuff he's gone through with it. If it is a proper addiction that Tonali's got, and Tony as well, they should be getting help, not these big bans slapped on them, because what's going to happen now? They've got all this spare time. What are they going to do to fill their time? I think that's a large part of it when it comes to footballers, especially in Merson's day. When they weren't like... I'm not going to say they weren't full-time athletes, but they certainly enjoyed themselves more than footballers did today in terms of, you know, drinking and stuff like that. And Merson and Gascoigne had their famous game with a certain prescription drug. If you don't know, it's worth a Google, because I don't want to explain it and get it wrong. But I'm sure it's when they both played for Middlesbrough at the same time. And when they had a spare afternoon off, they would just go and buy copious amounts of this drug. Or maybe one of them had... Gascoigne had it in his house or something. Saka's down here looking hurt. Anyone know what his issue was last week? Because he's clutching his ankle. Oh, my throat is dry. And he looks like he's in severe pain here. Oof, there's a big advert for Newcastle versus Dortmund now on the screen. I scored a last-minute ticket. Buzzing off me tits I was on Saturday afternoon. Gavin Hurst's comment there about the footballers not allowed to have a kick about with their friends. I think that depends who you are. Because the amount of times you'd see Alan St. Maximan on Instagram in some, like... Do you remember the Yoga Benito? Not Yoga Benito. What was the gimmick before that for Nike? Where it was in, like, the cage, the scorpion cage with the scorpion ball. That sort of setting, having a kick about with his pals, just a five-a-side game. You'd be doing it all the time. I've had every ballot and not managed to get Burnley and City so far. Not ideal. Yeah, I've entered 8 ballots this season as a Newcastle ballot, my membership holder. And me personally, my number, when I've been the one at the top of the application, has been unsuccessful every time. I'm 0 for 8. But I've always got there while being linked to somebody else's account. But I just had a pal who, his dad couldn't make it, or something like that, so there was a ticket up for grabs. There was me and one other pal in the race. Did a coin flip on Saturday afternoon. Tails never fails. And then Dortmund away, I'm in the home end. Got an unbelievable deal. I'm on a proper tourist's day out with the Dortmund ticket. It was very funny last week because I was in such a panic because I handled the booking for me and 3 other pals. And then it came to the day when the payment was supposed to be taken. I used the black card, obviously, with it being such a big expenditure. The credit card. Got an email from Borussia Dortmund, who you sort the package through. And they were like, sorry, we can't take the money from your account. Please contact your bank and tell us why. And I was like, oh God, here we go. I've ruined the trip for everybody. Samare is bossing this game. I can't get over this. Ocampos has got some room on the edge of the box. But he can't find El Naziri. No thank you, Alex Mumby. But yeah, this Samare, who used to play for Leicester, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Raya again, pass now from the back, but this time he gets it right to Saliba. Another 5 minutes passes as if I've not been sat here for 5 minutes. There's been 6 shots in total in the game so far. 4 for Arsenal, 2 for Sevilla. Sevilla's have not been on target at all. Just put it on the Cultaholic card, could you imagine? But yeah, I had such a panic on for like an hour last Thursday, I think it was. I'm glad I got out of bed an hour early. I had to ring the bank, I had to ring Borussia Dortmund. But obviously the bank just thought it was a bit of a scam transfer with, like, you know, a fair chunk of change leaving my credit card for Germany, which always happens, obviously. And everyone's thought, oh, they might just think it's a bit suspicious and need to do a security check, but thankfully it all came out. Yeah, but so do 3 other people, Nathan Garrett. It's got to be consensual, the spending. I'm sure they wouldn't be happy. But there we go. Saliba's on the charge. Out wide to Martinelli. It's a bit heavy. He can't even keep that in. Martinelli should have kept that in. What was wrong with him? He looks knackered. Bless him. I bet he is. The shift he puts in every single game. Neuland now looking for sprinklers. And he nails it to Rakitic. Did I speak to Marco Reus? No, I didn't. Surprisingly. Raya again. He's got the ball at his feet. He's taken a touch, but he's done well this time, finding Saliba. The crowd are getting on top of him, though. Lots of whistles going up when he gets the ball. Distraction tactics. Tomiyasu's found some space. In the reverse Trent midfield hybrid role. I mean that because he's on the left and not the right. Jorginho now. Odegaard, inside right position, edge of the box. He's in the box. He plays out wide to White. White back to Saka, who is thankfully fine. For the sake of club and country. Up the Euros. No, the woman I was speaking to was called Annika. She was a very nice lady, very understanding. Up the Annika. But yeah, I've got a night in a 4-star hotel the night of the game. You get a Dortmund shirt as part of this package that I've booked. Because we were just like, there's no chance of us getting a ticket in the away end. So let's just get in the home end. And then one of my pals came across this package deal where you get a night in a 4-star hotel. White away. Ball right across the box, but El Naziri couldn't get there. What else? What was it? Like a night in a 4-star hotel, a Dortmund Cup shirt, an authentic one apparently, which is worth €90. Martinelli's down here. Bit of a clash. You get a sausage inside the ground. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You get a pint inside the ground. You get a welcome pack, a museum tour. I'm sure there was something else that I'm forgetting. Unbelievable deal. I might as well give the travel company a plug. I can't remember what it's called now. Let me check the emails. Best Travel Dortmund is what we booked it through. And even though the woman clearly knew I was from Newcastle, and they're obviously playing Newcastle, and everyone said, oh, you're not allowed, because obviously you're just going to come here and cause trouble, which I'm not going to do anyway, but you know the reputation the English football fans have. Arteta is barking at his bench. Germans do football so much better than we do, that is true. How much? It was like 300 and something euros for all of that. Match ticket as well, obviously. The reputation Geordies have. I would say as travelling football fans, ours is one of the better ones, I'd say. We never really cause trouble. Always a good following everywhere we go. Always loud. Always friendly. Fantastic human beings all around, apart from that one that punched the horse. Right, Sevilla have a dangerous free kick. Inside right. Into the box, Ray claims. Nobody round him. Arsenal on the counter. Jesus now going down the right. Challenged by Samare. He's still going. Samare does well, though. I want Newcastle to sign Samare to replace Tonali now. He's been unreal here. Man of the match by a country mile. Ben White now. Sorry, Benjamin White. You can't call him Ben, can you? He changed how people address him to Benjamin when in football circles. He does seem... I don't know what he's like. I've never really seen an interview with him. But just going off his appearance. I know you should never judge a book by its cover. And going off the fact he wants to be addressed as Benjamin and not Ben. He does seem a bit of an arsehole. Into the final 5 minutes of normal time in the first half. God, Rakitic is still a very good player, isn't he? How old is he now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What a treat on the stream. How old is Ivan Rakitic? At a guess, I'd probably say 34. He's number 10, wasn't he? He's vice-captain according to Wikipedia. He's 35. Excuse me. Been at Sevilla for over 3 years now. He retired from international football in 2019. Doesn't feel that long ago. Pressure from Odegaard on Ramos, but he plays it back to Neuland. Imagine that. When did Ramos leave Real Madrid? It was only a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Before he went to Paris. Paris! So he left Real Madrid in 2021 when Neuland, I think, was playing for Reading, if memory serves, from when I read his career earlier. God, where's the squad gone? Orjan Neuland in 2021 was playing. Well, he was the reserve goalkeeper for Bournemouth for the 2021-2022 campaign. Earlier in 2021, he was at Norwich, but made no appearances. What a turnaround for that man. Fair play to him. I know that Ramos is on the way down because of his age, but still. They're both playing for the same team. Reigning European-ish champions. I only say ish because it wasn't the Champions League. Whoa, Samari does well again. I think I fancy this Samari. I never seen a performance like it. He's so quick on the ball. He's so energetic. He gets around the pitch. Leicester fans must be spitting feathers at this point, watching this guy boss Arsenal in the Champions League. Jesus Navas. He is running the midfield so far. Very, very good performance. Ramos with the sprinklers now. Luca Bacchio. Good tracking back from Martinelli. Who is So? It's not Musa So from years ago, is it? Must be a different one. A different kind of So. Cross straight at Rhea. Gibril So. 26 years old. Was at Frankfurt until this season. 38 caps for Switzerland. Where's Musa So these days? When was he a thing? He's 37 years old now. Former Rennes. Oh, I said that very well. Rennes. Lille, Fenerbahce. Shabab Al-Hil... Oh, my God. Shabab Al-Ali. My God. Fenerbahce again. Bursaspor. He loved Turkey. 50 caps for Senegal. When was his pomp? It was when he was Lille/Fenerbahce. 10 or so years ago. Who scored that one goal, Alfie, in the 8 p.m. kickoffs? Do let me know. Ramos stepping forward. Ocampos on the wing. Takes on White. Lovely ball through. Is that En-Nesyri? Puts it wide. That should be hitting the target from him. Arsenal get away with one. Sevilla's got away with one at the start of the game with Neuland making the save from Martinelli. It all evens out. Lay off the hippie salad. What's given that impersonation that I've been taking that? Impersonation. I had a terrible night's sleep last night, and I've had such a long shooting day today. Did 2 news videos. I know woe is me, the smallest violin and all that sort of bollocks, but it does take it out. You're talking for so long. Especially when you're like me, when you have to put your phone voice on whenever you're on camera. Because if I spoke with my normal voice, no one would understand a word I would say. Nobody would, unless you were from Newcastle or certain areas of the northeast. The Pepsi's gone straight to me head. Nah, just a lack of sleep last night. It was terrible. Yeah, 2 news videos, a tier list with Andrew, which will be out at the weekend. That video with Tom. I mean, over 45, nearly an hour's worth of shooting today with Tom, which, you know, takes it out, you didn't it? I'm only joking. I keep up with them. Right, 4 minutes of added time. We're halfway through it. Whoa, we're halfway there. Neuland taking the piss on the edge of his own box. Just kick it long, man. What's wrong with kicking it long? There you go. Left-footed, straight up. Ben White wins it. Sorry, Benjamin White wins it. Oh, lovely. Oh, yes. Oh, Campos is very, very good. 2 Megnuts there. Out wide to Acuna. Flicked away kind of by Tomiyasu, but not really. Away by Gabriel, I think it would have been. Oh, what a turn by Jesus. Martinelli is in. It's got to be 1-0 for the Arsenal. He's round the keeper. It is. What a counter-attacking goal by the Arsenal. This turn from Gabriel Jesus in the middle of the park is like Samare, who's been the man of the match so far by a country mile, on crack. Hoo-hoo! Cruyff turn, sent 2 players for a pint of milk. Who was it who got whizzle-wazzled? It might have been Rakitic. He's a sweaty man. Arsenal! 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 I remember when I was in Malta in 2005. Here we go, here's a story for you. And Newcastle played Arsenal on the opening day of the season. And obviously me and my brother had our Newcastle shirts on. There was an Arsenal fan in the hotel. As we look at the replay... Oh, I think it's Ocampos and Samari who get whizzle-wazzled there. Just before the halfway line. Anyway, Arsenal won the game. I think it was 2-0. And after tea time, my mum, my brother and me were walking through the hotel. And an Arsenal fan, obviously seeing us in our Newcastle shirts, just walked up to us and went, Arsenal! 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 In his Cockney accent. And my mum just blurted out, takes one to no one? You little prick. Something like that. She thought he was shouting arsehole, arsehole, arsehole at us. Such was the severity of his Cockney accent. So there's the story for you. Up the Malta, up the 2005. That's when my life peaked. It's all been downhill since then. Right, hide that. It is hidden. Let me quickly change this. Because I was just thinking to myself, how does that make any sense? Takes one to no one. Right, let's see if I can get this set up properly. Labosh. There we are. Right, we'll drag this down. Oh, no. Steady on, Ross, now. Steady on. We'll drag it down. Here we go. Up the quiz. Yeah, I'm disappointed by the viewership this evening as well. I don't know what's going on. I published the stream in good time. We normally get over 100 for a Champions League stream, but, you know, they're elsewhere tonight. Let's go with this Football 11's Arsenal quiz. All you have to do is name Arsenal players from 1999 onwards, and we'll fill the table. 20 minutes on the clock, but we'll just go for the duration of half-time. Song, I can see. Henri. Eduardo. Shaven. Gallas. Ozil. Cole. Seaman. There he is. Almunia. Keown. Reyes. Rest in peace. Sanchez. Whoops. Manone. No. I'm getting confused now. Richard Wright. No, he hasn't made the cut. Petr Cech. Dixon. Adams. White. Adebayor. Lauren. God, if Squillaci's in here. He is in there somewhere. Vela. Surely not. No. Bold. I think this is after his time. Yep. Spelling. Bakary Sagna. Bergkamp. Up the typing. I am knackered. Podolski. Wenger won't be in there. Toure. He's in there. Shamak. Flamini. Rosicky. Oh, that's Tozicky. Rosicky. Go Eduardo. I'll just put Diaby. Jens Van Persie. Fabregas. Arteta. Is that the right spelling? God, come on. I'm having to get the right spelling. Le Bosch. Up the Musasau. Van Bronckhorst. It wasn't. Let's get this copied and let's get... Oh, God. I feel like Joel on the podcast now. No, just click that bit, Joel. You'll be fine. Van Bronckhorst. Le Bosch. We're using the key. We're using the mouse because I'm panicking. There you go. Van Bronckhorst is in there. Senderos. Surely not. Oxlade. Oxlade Chamberlain. Clichy. Chleb. Carzola. What a player. Apparently not. Apparently not. Got Almunia, got Arshavin. SZCESNY. That's not how you spell it, apparently. Upson? No. Perez. Walcott. Mertesacker. Oh, God. How do you spell that? Mertesacker. I'm speaking French. Mertesacker. Up the Brave. Here we go. Le Bosch. Le Bosch. Mertesacker's in there. Fabianski. No. Will Todd, surely. Eboué. Jeffers. No. Barla. Got Fabregas, haven't we? Oh, we've nearly completed the 07-08 team. I can't believe you've not said Lord Bentner's name. Come on. Oh, where's my thing gone? Coach, Wenger. We've completed 07-08. I'm going to try and complete these myself now. Centre midfield from Brazil, Denilson. We're on 08-09. Cam from France. A French Cam from France. I know it's not him for the Cam. A French Cam. Oh, God. Nasri. Substitute 2 from Switzerland for Arsenal. Should have had Senderos, is it not? Apparently not. Bentley's not on there. A Swiss... Oh, Juru. Johan Juru. DJ... Oh, how the hell do you... Fuck. Arsenal. De Juru. How the hell do you spell that? Johan De Juru. This has got to be him. He's Swiss. He fits the bill. Tweddell's on fire. You can't keep up. It's there. 08-09 is done. 06-07. Trinidad. What? Sub 1. Try. 06-07. Oh. Koscielny is in there. XH, aka Jacques is in there. Campbell. Kimbo. What's that Try. T-R-I. Pennant's not on there. Try. Brazil 0607. Hoyt? No. Oh my god, what a call. I thought he was English. We've got it by you, haven't we? Oh, Gavin. Yes. Right. 0506, we need a French man. I don't know what position he'll be. Maybe a defender? We've got Vieira, haven't we? Yep, we've got Vieira. Sieg? No. Oh my god. We've completed a fair few here. Let's go 0102, Ukraine. That's Luzhny. How the bloody hell do you spell Oleg? I remember him from my sticker book. Oleg Luzhny. I'll go with for a spelling attempt. Oh god. It's weird how things stay with you. Yes, Tweddell. Right, 0102, France. We've got Will Todd. How do you spell that, man? Have I got them all? I've got them already. Oh, dear. 0102, Canu. He's on there. We need a Frenchman from the 0102. Petit, I think that's a bit after his time, isn't it? 0102. He's there. 99 2000. A Frenchman from the 0102. No, not an Elka. That's after his time. I'm sure he's playing for Man City. Yeah, was he not? Or maybe the year earlier? It's not an Elka. 0102 campaign. Arsenal, Frenchman. Trying to go through the positions now. It's not a defender. We've got Perez already. Frenchman. 0102. We're getting hung up on this here. Should say, by the way, we've got all these teams down here to do as well. Hello. Frenchman from the 0102 Arsenal team. It's not Viltord. We've got him already. Frenchman, Arsenal 0102. Right, Brazilian left back for Arsenal from 0001. Oh, God. Need a French centre midfielder who isn't Vieira. Grimandi. Yes. Gilles Grimandi. Silvinho Barcelona. If I spelled that right. S-Y. No, I've got them two the wrong way around. So we need an English substitute. Oh, God. Dutch for Overmars. Dutch for Arsenal. Mark Overmars. How do you spell his Overmars? It is literally just Overmars. He's in there. Come on, Ross. Chambers. Bellerin. Oh, flip-de-doo. How do you spell Bellerin? Bellerin. Oh, you bell end. Holding. Saka. Ramsey. Filled a fair few teams there. Vermaelen. Up the Vermaelen. Leno. Emery. Nelson? No. Oh, God. Is it just Iwobi? Getting whizzle-wazzled by the chat for spelling you. Good evening, Ramsdale. Mustafi. Cedric Suarez. Wilshere. Oh, we finished 10-11 there as well. 09010 Frenchman. 09010 Frenchman. Who isn't Nasri? Who isn't Gallas? Who isn't Sanya? Who isn't Diaby? Who isn't Giroud? 09010 Clichy. No. It's not Clichy. 09010 Frenchman. Then we've completed that one as well. Sanogo. No, a bit too soon for him. He's not on anyway. Pepe. A bit later on, obviously. Silvestre. Yes. I must be spelling Scalacci wrong there. Right, 11-12. Oh, Szczesny. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Paul Konchesky? What the hell's gone on there? Oh, Snoo. We need to try and find how to spell Wojtek Szczesny. Oh, bollocks. The teams are back out for the second half. Let's just reveal the answers. Let's see who we missed. Szczesny. Kieran Gibbs is on there. The second half is started, by the way. That clock will be a bit behind. Nacho Monreal, I'm seeing. Nigel Winterburn was the man from 99-2000. I don't know if you can see that, can you? We got 81%, by the way, which isn't bad going with 6 minutes left. Who else is on there quickly before we get back to the second half? Santi Cazorla. Oh, I put the R in the wrong place. That's my fault. Nacho Monreal, Carl Jenkinson, Andre Santos, Yossi Benayoun. God, it's all easy when the answers are in front of you. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Guendouzi, Torreira, Gabriel, Odegaard. To be fair, if we had a little bit more time, we would have got there. We're off for the second half, by the way. Lebosch. That's about 5 seconds behind where I am. Let me change that to so I can match it up properly. Lebosch. Right. Arsenal on the attack. Arsenal doing well in the opening moments of the second half. Rice on the edge. Oh, he's lost control, but not really. Plays it across to White, who goes for it. Over the Demba. Scott Spencer. Hi, Ross. Just want to say, loving all your stuff on the hold and give. And as an Arsenal fan, loving all our star boys. I hate that. I hope you've used that ironically, excuse me. And just a quick note, you're going down in a couple of weeks. Probably are. We rarely do well against Arsenal. Rarely do well. Oh, yeah, what is the Man United score? Manchester United. Oh, Neuland. Odegaard's missed a sitter. How's he not hit the target there? It's 0-0 in the 49th minute, Manchester United. So Sevilla try to be too cute in their own sort of the corner towards the whatever. I think it's Rakitic who plays a slack pass back to his fullback. A slack pass back to his fullback. I was first introduced to the term Star Boy by that, oh, what's his name again? Like, bloody FIFA guy. MGH, that's the one. When I stumbled upon him during lockdown and he was playing with Saka and he kept calling him Star Boy. Ooh! But it wasn't really used ironically, which was worrying. I've never seen another team use that term. Anyway, Jesus Navas tried to take on Tomiyasu. Deflected out for a corner. Gavin Hurst hates him. He's a nonce. Why? He seems like a thoroughly boring, inoffensive man. Right, corner coming in. Bosh. It comes to nothing. What a waste of time that was from Sevilla. Anyway. Like Spike to get it over 50. What we on? It's been quiet tonight, hasn't it? Bit of a shame. Not good signs for the future of the channel. We're only on 37 likes. Come on, man. Pull your finger out your arse. If you haven't liked the stream already, please do. Don't like Spike for Starboy. Like Spike it for better reasons than that. Ray does well that time, spreading the play across the pitch to Tomiyasu. Martinelli wriggles away. Jesus. Lovely drag back turn. Saka now on the other edge of the box. The other edge of the box, the other side. Whips it in. Jesus goes for it, but it's deflected off the back of someone, and it goes safely into Neuland's hands. Chat's been popping. Yeah, I've very much appreciated and enjoyed all your company this evening. There's just normally more of you. There's just normally more of you. That's my only complaint. Where are you? I feel like Delia Smith right now. Let's be having you. The best football supporters in the world. Samari. Out wide. To be fair, in terms of the games I was picking, you know, the English teams involved, there's much bigger YouTubes who cover these teams full time than me sat here in my boudoir. So maybe I was on a hiding to nothing tonight, no matter who I picked. Anyway, it's been quite an enjoyable game. Two evenly matched sides. Tomiyasu fouled there surely, and also trod on by the looks of things. That would have been sore, but he's okay. He's a tough man. Tomiyasu. I've got the ManchesterUnited.com, ManUnited.com live blog up here so I can keep on top of their score as well. And it just says, huge save from Onana. Lucas Larega is picked out on the edge of the area as Copenhagen fly forward on the break. His shot looks certain to hit the net, with Andre Onana diving to his right to make a wonderful one-handed save. He dived to his right and made a save. It's all Copenhagen, says Socks the Waving Cat. I can't even say that. It's been such a bad day for talking. Thank you for putting up with me bollocks voice. Me bollocks voice. Can't even say that right. Anyway, total shots, it says on this live blog here. Man United have had 55% possession. Total shots, Man United 7, Copenhagen 9. Shots on target, Man United 2, Copenhagen 1. So it's been a fairly even game. But it does appear that Copenhagen are on top. Raya now goes long. There is a God. There's nothing wrong with going long. Ramos heads it, but it's straight to Rice. Rice now, out wide to Jesus. He's in the box going up against Navas. Oh! I apologise for going all Martin Tyler on that one, but what a goal. What a hit, son, what a hit. Arsenal. Arsenal. He's cut in from that right-hand side, or the left-hand side for Arsenal, the right-hand side for Sevilla. Jesus Navas backtracks, lets him in the box, and he hits a Swazi bender A bender with a bit of power into the far corner. Neuland, no chance. 3/4 of the way up the net as well. What a hit from Jesus Navas. From Jesus Navas! Oh, I'm the mayor. From Gabriel Jesus, who has 3 and 3 apparently in the Champions League, which is not a good advert for the Champions League because Jesus, if there's one thing that lets him down, it's his finishing. We all know this. But anyway, Navas backs off. 2 touches inside from Navas. From Jesus, kill me! And he swazzes it in the far corner. It's practically top corner. It's a hell of a strike. 2-0 to the Arsenal. It contradicts our famous chant. 1-0 to the Arsenal, but now we scored 2. Ross still denying the hippie salad. Yeah, he can't speak. It's just a lack of sleep. And the fact I slur anyway. I find it miraculous. I've found a living for the past 8 years doing what I do. I can't talk anyway. Anyway, 2-0 to Arsenal. Ross loves the wacky backy. I do not. I'm lazy enough without taking that sort of thing. Anyway, drugs are bad. Tomiyasu hooks it forward. Rice. Martinelli. Jesus. Odegaard. Saka. Penalty. No, not giving it. There's some commentary for you. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I reckon I got 3 hours last night. Because I had to be in work for 9 for the news videos. Horrible night skip last night. So I'm looking forward to getting my head down today and sleeping 4 hours and being even more tired tomorrow. Where I need to have an on-form voice because it's a solo Hold and Give football podcast this week. As Rice cuts inside. Lovely reverse pass to Martinelli. He crosses it. Saka's at the back stick. He tees up Odegaard. Arsenal well on top now. Arsenal. Yeah, Jack Atkins has hurt his back so much that he's having to, I don't know, he cancelled a recording with Tom today for their wrestling podcast. And he was just saying to me today, he's going to have to do it in chunks now. It's just like, pick any other week than this week because I need to be done in good time tomorrow with me going to the match. I want to be finished work at 5:30. No later, so I can go straight out. Have a few pints, settle the nerves. So I was just like, bollocks to it. I used to listen to Chris Jericho do a solo podcast back in the day. Used to listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin do a solo podcast back in the day. It's time for Tweddell to do a solo podcast all on his own. So that'll be on the podcast feed and the YouTube channel tomorrow. What time do we start? We all do a normal... Well, unless you're Tom, who does like... Tom does about 4 till... whenever, and then the rest of us do 9 till 5:30. Some of us do 8 till 4:30, but it's a normal office job we have. We're not these privileged YouTubers, we're content creators. Salt of the earth. Adam rocks up at 11. Nah, he's normally one of the first ones in, Adam, to be fair. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how normal working a cultaholic / triple jump actually is, apart from when you do weird videos. Just like a normal office job. Up the normal office jobs. Sevilla have a corner right now. They need a goal, and a goal pretty soon to get back into this game. How the shoe is on the other foot for the Arsenal. Oh, they've got one. It might be Ramos. It's not Ramos. It's the other centre-half. It's 2-1 to the Arsenal. It's a bullet header. There's no stopping that one, David Raya. A lovely retro jumper in the crowd, and then a full-on high-visibility suit as well. And a wonderful moustache. The Sevilla crowd are very well cultured anyway. Rakitic whips the corner in, and if anyone watches the EAFC 24 career mode streams on this very channel, it's what we like to call the Ferguson header, the Evan Ferguson header, where he meets it in the same position at the near post every single time. On those career modes, he misses them, but on this game, in real life, the centre-half scores it. 2-1! Oh, it's so annoying on those career modes. On that career mode. Every time I whip the corner in, Evan Ferguson near post, he always either has it cleared off the line, hits the post, or goes nearly, just past the post, wide as well. God, struggle to get that sentence out as well. But yeah, game on. Arsenal look fully in control there since the break. And now Sevilla are back in it. But Arsenal now have a corner of their own. Bellingham scored again. Shock. Shock. He's going to be one of the best players ever. If he continues the way he's going, he's going to be one of the best ever. Which I know is breaking news on the podcast. It's a hot take. Oh, no, I thought they had a free header at the back stick there. They are no, but they didn't. Sevilla have dealt with it. It's another corner. Is that Gabriel who sort of hurt himself? I think he's nutted the back of Samare's head, potentially. He has. Bosh. What makes him the best? It's the footballing arrogance, I would put it. He tries stuff that players of his age maybe, and who aren't him, wouldn't try. If that makes any sense. It's just quality. I don't know what you say. He's got the size, he's got the power, he's got the passing range, he's got the legs to burst forward, he's clearly got the finishing, the amount of goals he's scoring for Madrid. The fact he's doing that when he's barely 20. Well, he might be more than just a little bit than barely 20. He's 20 years of age. He's a starter for Real Madrid. He's scoring goals like there's no tomorrow. And he's only 20. It's unbelievable. Saka now down the wing. Foul surely dragged over by Acuna. Ross would batter Bellingham. I don't think you would do. I don't know why Acuna's protesting this so heavily. It's clearly a foul. Saka's going down the wing, gives him the arse off, and then Acuna puts his hand over his chest and rakes him down. Ross, when will you come to Australia? Kyle, when you pay for my flight and accommodation. That's when. I assume it's a very expensive trip to go to Australia from over here. Saka now whipping the free kick in from Arsenal's right with his left foot, bending towards the goalkeeper. Oh, Neuland a bit shaky, punches it away when he might have been able to catch it. Might have got a flick on at the near post, who knows? I don't know. It didn't get a touch. Should he be catching that? Potentially. The reason I couldn't sleep last night is because I was worked a bit late and I couldn't switch off. I worked a bit too late. You only go past the threshold. You just feel like, oh, I'm back at uni. It's an all-nighter. Arsenal can't get the header in. Weird clearance on the edge of their own box. Is that Navas who needs to keep it in or Acuna? One of the two. I think it was Acuna. How's Bandit? Awake. Vibrant. Not on the wheel yet, though. I can't hear the wheel. She normally wakes up at about 9:30, so that's right on time. I'm not getting her out. She's just waking up. Let the woman adjust to the day. As Samari chips the ball into the back stick. That's a handball. That was a handball. Surely, referee. It's a hell of a shot after it from En-Nesyri, is it? Potentially. Who the hell is that? Why did I recognise these players? I know nothing about football these days. Beg me pardon? Mariano. Clearly takes it down with his hand. You can't get away with that. It's a hell of a strike afterwards, though, which I think Ray tips onto the bar. He does. Great save. Larry's in the conversation, Socks the Waving Cat. I don't have a standout favourite. I like Sonia Deville's dog, Demon. I like Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green's dogs, Walter and Dude. I like Pharaoh, obviously. I like Simon, What's-Her-Face's dog from back in the day. That lass from back in the day. You know the one. Got the little dog called Simon the Boston Terrier. I like all the dogs, mate. And they won't let you down by becoming a wrong'un. Oh, Hulk's a dazzling dog. Kenny's dog. And his new dog, Randy. Kenny got a new dog recently. I think he must have posted this publicly. It was on Facebook. I might be talking out of turn, but he adopted a dog called Randy. I think he's from Romania. Tomiyasu deals with a crossfield pass, but Jesus Navas has it now. Rakitic has got the ball out to Jesus Navas again. Whips it in. One bicycle. Whoa! Big bicycle kick by Ocampos at the far post. Excuse me. Nowhere near the goal. Looked a lot closer from where the hard cam was in the stadium. I think Arsenal might need to make a change here. Freshen things up in midfield. They're getting a bit overrun. Sevilla coming back into things. Good and proper. Ocampos at the far post. Back across goal. Mariano. It's another bloody bicycle kick. Reyes taking his time for some reason. The ball goes out. Arsenal need to do something here to stop this tidal wave of Sevilla offence. It's relentless. Like Spike for the Todd indeed. And the Bandit. Ooh, it hits his own man. Saliba did have his hands around him. You've seen them given, but you've seen some utter bollocks given this season as well. I don't think it was a penalty, but he did have his arms around him. But I think Arsenal would have welcomed that little pause in play there. Give them a couple of minutes off there. Frustrate Sevilla. Samari's let it bounce for some reason. Whoa, high foot there from Jorginho. Also a combination with a low head. En-Nesyri was stooping there for a header. Or knocked the ball on with his head, I think. And Jorginho... I don't think he gets him either, to be fair. En-Nesyri sort of headbutts the instep of Jorginho's foot. It wouldn't have hurt that much, surely. Come on. Is the Friday Fun Club back this week? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'd like to think so, but I don't know, is the answer. Honest answer. Rakitic may be looking for the big switch, but he goes back to Samari instead. Samari with time to pick a pass. Ocampos now. Oh, he's had his pocket picked by Martinelli. But they've won it back. Sevilla are proper on top here. Arsenal can't get out their own half. Samare coming forward again. Finds Rakitic. Labosh. What was that? That was awful. Rice on the break. Go on. Rice. My God, it's like watching Theo Walcott. Saka. Cuts back inside. It's blocked. Odegaard picks up again. What a run that was from Rice. I was getting flashbacks to Theo Walcott at Anfield all those years ago in the Champions League. I don't think I'll play Football Manager. I'm not getting back into that world. I get too addicted. I want to have a life as well. I've not played Football Manager since uni, when it nearly cost me my degree. Right, Arsenal keeping possession now for a minute or two, as they need to, as we enter the final 20-ish minutes of the game. Plus stoppage time. As Tomiyasu plays it out wide to Saka. Saka now. Saka now. Whoa! 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 I don't know how the ball's getting through there. Referee's not buying it from Odegaard. Looked like him and Jesus lost the ball both at the same time, but they didn't somehow. But then they did. There you go. That's analysis. Ross is on for a first doctor before. It was, I was never the best student at uni, to be honest with you. I was never the best student from GCSE onwards. I did it the wrong way around. I was a proper swot until GCSEs were over. And then you start having a bit more of a social life, a bit more of a beverage and that sort of thing. Apparently Manchester United have scored according to Socks the Waving Cat, but the live chat thing on their official website has not updated. The last thing I'm seeing is 69 minutes. Lindelof steps in well. Tomiyasu appears to be down with a broken foot. As Sergio Ramos tells him to get up. To be fair, though, I still scraped it. Well, I didn't scrape. I got a comfortable 2-1 at uni. Somehow pulled out my arse. It was just in that final term of the final year, I had this dissertation to do, was to make your own website filled with content on a specialist subject of yours, so I picked futsal for some reason. Interviewed the England captain and people like that, though, so I did all right with it. Scraped a 2-1, but it had to hit a word count in terms of all the articles on there. It was something like 40 or 50,000 words, I'm sure. And I did it all in a week. All in a week. Having to source the interviews, source the articles. I had months to do this, but I did it all in a week. Got a 2-1. Odegaard going off for Havertz, which is an interesting change by the Arsenal. Goal confirmed, 72 minutes on this live blog on manunited.com. It says goal, Man United 1, FC Copenhagen 0. A rare goal scorer with a picture of Harry Maguire next to it. Not even naming him. Just saying a rare goal scorer. Can he not just put, we're happy for Harry Maguire, not, lol, a rare goal scorer? I bet you think I'm joking as well. This is what I'm seeing. A rare goal scorer. Just put Maguire. We're over the moon for you, son. Well done. Good luck. Right. Sevilla win the ball back. Down the left now, Sevilla. Benjamin White being taken on by Acuna, who whips it in. Raya gets there just before El Naziri. I think it would have been playing centre forward there. It was. He did well there, the goalkeeper. He's alright when he doesn't kick the ball with his feet, isn't he? Oh dear, you're delicious. 15 or so minutes to go in the game plus stoppage time. What's happening? There's a throw-in. Why is he not taking it? You're 2-1 down at home. Let's go. Down the line. Benjamin White wins it. Oh, there you go. There's a better update. What I was looking at was just a placeholder. Maguire heads us in front. A wonderful ball into the box from Christian Eriksen finds defender Harry Maguire unmarked as our number 5 powers home a wonderful header from close range to give the Reds the lead. Get in, Harry. That's a bit nicer. I was jumping to conclusions too soon. As Eric Lamela, former Spurs man, looks for a penalty or a free kick right on the edge of the box. Not getting it though, too soft. Too soft. Can I just say, the sight of Lamela there playing against Arsenal brings me back to that goal during lockdown, the old Rabona into the bottom corner, which Martin Tyler should have been sacked for. He should have been sacked. The way he undersold an unbelievable goal was a crime, in my opinion. You put an iconic bit of commentary on top of that. I know there was no fans in the stadium, so it's a bit hamstrung. But the fact that Martin Tyler just... I forget what he said exactly, but it was basically along the lines of, it's a goal. Lamela. Rice on the edge of the box, though. Acres of room. Saka's waited and can't find him. Havertz down the line. Saka. Whips it in. Nobody there. Too far. Good evening, Adam Pachiti's Geordie hero. If it's not Man United, then Tyler doesn't care. Up until about... well, it was that Martial goal against Liverpool. The game when Benteke scores that unbelievable bicycle kick. And he goes, it's a goal. Benteke. And then Martial, it's a good finish. He runs through and slots it away in the far corner. The way he's like, ah! Welcome to Manchester! Anthony Martial! Ah! That's the moment I started believing he was a Manchester United fan. Oh, Ramos might have left a bit on Havertz there. He might have left a bit on him. I didn't see the game last night, but didn't Tyler commentate on the game last night? I think I saw somewhere. Was he on Sky Sports last night for the Fulham Spurs game? Anyone watch the game on Sky? You can post it, but I can't share it on the stream for obvious reasons. I don't want to get copyright claimed. Whizzle Wazzle by the powers that be. What was I reading last night then about Martin Tyler being on the football last night? Arsenal break down a Sevilla attack. I'm going to have to search this out, see what I saw. Martin Tyler. Oh, he works for Premier League Productions. That's fair enough. I assumed he did that anyway. The way people were on about last night, it was like he was back working for Sky. Yeah, lots of commentating. Oh God, lots of tweets about Martin Tyler commentating last night. New from Mail Sport. Martin Tyler set to return to the gantry 4 months after leaving Sky Sports to once again call a live Premier League game. Yeah, obviously all the commentators have contracts with certain broadcasters, but they all work for multiple broadcasters, don't they? Like even when he was working for Sky, Tyler would do stuff for different. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but you tune into a Champions League night in a pub. Who wasn't watching the BT feed from the last few years, and he'd be there commentating for somebody else. Saka coming off for Trossard. And Eddie and Nketiah coming on, I assume, for Gabriel Jesus, which it is. Who have Arsenal? Arsenal got it the weekend. Arsenal fixtures. Who have Arsenal got it the weekend? Arsenal are playing Sheffield United away. Easy win, you'd assume. But I can see why he took Saka off. He was down hurt in the first half. Nearly crying he was. No, I don't mean Jesus Navas. I did that today on a tier list as well. Speaking about bloody Nick Wayne. And I said Nick Gage about 3 times. And Andrew, who sat next to us, didn't stop us once. Bloody lack of sleep. So I realised what I'd done. And I made sure to record something to put in there. To stop the comments being nasty about us. Right, Rakitic. Out wide. Jesus Navas. It's not him, it's somebody else. Rice on the break again. He's like a horse, isn't he? Oh, they're both left it for each other. And neither of them got it. Sevilla now on the attack. Approaching the edge of the box. Ah, it's crap. Raya takes it down with his chest. Yeah, I was speaking about that Christian promo where he's on about, I see your little friend there, Nick Gage. He didn't stop us once. Tosser. Trossard now doing well, wins Arsenal a corner, but the Sevilla defender is going Radio Rentley wants a goal kick. Looking at this Arsenal team, how many would you want at Newcastle? Based off his distribution this evening and at Chelsea and at other points in the season, I'd stick with Nick Pope over Raya. Right back, I'm having Trippier over Benjamin White every day. Centre backs. The obvious answer is Saliba, but I don't know who I'd drop out of Shah and Botman. They're both unbelievable. God, I don't know. Trossard whips it in. I think I'd have Tomiyasu. Well, just based off this game, I think I'd have Tomiyasu over Burn. I think I would. I know I'd have Zinchenko over Burn. Even though I don't think Zinchenko's been up to much lately, has he? You know what? I'm going to stick with Botman and Shaw. They've been that good ever since Eddie Howe took over. I don't want either Saliba or Gabriel, especially Gabriel. In the midfield, you have an Odegaard all day long. And I'd have... You know, I think I'd swap Odegaard for Longstaff. I think I'd have Saka instead of Almiron. And I think I'd have Martinelli instead of Gordon. And I think I'd have Rice instead of Joe Linton, to be honest. Or would I? No, I wouldn't. No. Joe Linton over Rice every day. So yeah, combined 11. Pope. Then Newcastle's back 4. Well, no. Back 3 in Zinchenko. Bruno Guimaraes. Odegaard. Rice. No, I've got to pick Rice. Saka. Isak. Martinelli. That's where I'll go. Well, I don't know. Can't win, can I? Try to make things fair, not be too blinkered. Get told I'm being a tosser. What's so awful about the take, Sam Ward? I'm intrigued. What I've said that's made you laugh 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's what I was saying though. I literally just said Zinchenko's not been up to much, but also Dan Burn is fairly limited as a left back in terms of going forward. He does very well. He does very well indeed. But I'm guessing if you'd asked a poll of 100 people, who's the better left back, Zinchenko or Dan Burn, I'd argue more people would say Zinchenko regardless of his recent form. That's why I picked him. And you know for a fact why I said Joe Linton versus Rice, or Joe Linton over Rice, is because I just love Joe Linton. Nothing to do with the quality of the player, just because Joe Linton flattens everybody. I'm fully aware that Declan Rice might be a slightly better footballer than Joe Linton. But everyone's got their way. That's why I'm a big fan of Jacob Murphy, because he's awful. He's not awful. He's just not good enough. But he's still there. He puts the work in, and he's funny. Therefore, he's one of my favourite players. Same with Joe Linton. That's not the same with Joe Linton. Joe Linton is a quality player. He's just not as good as Declan Rice, but he flattens people. He's a Raji, as we would say up here in Newcastle. He's not someone to be trifled with, the Southerners might say. Sorry, that was a heart over head comment, that. Stop twisting what I've said. You prick. Samare now going forward. Rakitic. Ocampos, he could have slipped in Rakitic there potentially, but he's going on his own. Whipped in. Oh dear. Gabriel more up than out. Ocampos again. Out wide. Whipped in. Dealt with by Jorginho, I believe. Header. Saved by Rea. And yeah, no, to be fair though, in the second half he's got a bit quiet, hasn't he, Samari? But that first half, what a performance in the first half. In the first half, Samari looked twice the player of Declan Rice. Not so much in the second half, as though Campos has a hole in his foot, and it goes out for an Arsenal throw. That's what I mean with Dan Burn, though. Like Tommy Wrestling saying there, Ross Mbappé is still in Dan Burn's pocket. You always, every time a lineup comes out, you're like, oh God, that's a quick winger. He's going to have Dan Burn on toast. Dan Burn going forward isn't the best. But to be fair, against Crystal Palace at the weekend, he was playing some lovely little reverse passes inside to Gordon. But every game, Dan Burn pulls out his arse. Unless he's playing centre-half at Brighton, which he had a really bad game. I think it speaks volumes that we got a left-back in the summer, Newcastle, in Hall, but we didn't go out and get a first-teamer. As Kiwa is getting warmed up for Arsenal. Wonder who he's going to come on for. Maybe a attacking player with 89 minutes played. Kiwa. Eddie Nketiah doing well against Ramos. Ramos bites back. Right, they're on the attack again now, Sevilla. Lamela, backwards. Ocampos, he's had a good game. I wouldn't mind seeing him over here, Ocampos. He seems very much suited to the English game, how boisterous he is. He must be getting on now, though, is he? $29. 1-2s, but Tomiyasu deals with it. Rice does very well. He's had a good second half, Rice. Carried the ball very well. Does very well there. Did that go out? I assume it did. 6 minutes? Where the hell have they got that from? There's been a few changes. There's been a goal, well, 2 goals. Ball in from Rakitic, it's a header. It's wide. I'll ask for one more favour before the stream's over. If you haven't liked it already, please do. Helps this bollocks out tremendously. We're on 55 currently. I want us to hit at least 70. Come on. Come on. Kiwa is coming on from an attacker. It's Martinelli who goes off. I think they're playing 5-4-1 based off the fact he just went 5-4. Raya going long. It's going to snow tonight. I think it's only the second time in this game he's gone long like that. Anyway, Eddie wins the header, but it goes back the other way. Rakitic now has it just inside the Arsenal half. Inside to Ocampos, who looks like... Was it Ocampos? I think it was. He was fouled. Keeper's ball all day. Ray gets it and sits on it like he's Jordan Pickford in a Merseyside derby. Excuse me. Up the 60 likes. We're still 10 short of the target. It's a lofty target, I know. But you got to aim high in life, haven't you? Failed gloriously. Long from Raya. 4 minutes plus a bit more, I assume, to go. Rice out wide to Trossard. Head for the corner. You don't want to lose it there, Trossard. He's done very well. Oh, he's even got past Samari. Look at Eddie and Nketiah over there, if they can switch it. They can't. Knock it back to Jorginho. Havertz. Kiwo. Tomiyasu. Ooh, he's gone for a risky pass. That should be a free kick on Jorginho, but I don't think the refs give it. He hasn't. I say Raya. David Raya. I know some people go David Raya. I'm always a Raya man. I don't know what the official way is. Ramos streaming forward now towards the Arsenal half. Acuna has the ball at left back. Samare now. Rakitic goes wide left. Acuna again. He's going to whip it in the box. In the mixer. Tomiyasu hooks it clear. Arsenal are what they called parking the bus. Havertz has fouled that fella there and he tore his shirt off. There's 5 defenders on the edge of the Arsenal box, even though Tomiyasu looks to be pushing up a bit. Trossard's basically left wing back currently. Havertz is basically right wing back, but a bit more tucked in. Whipped in by Wanlu. Reyes punched it over his own bar. That's unbelievable. It's nearly 6 yards out in front of the goal, and somehow Reyes dived forwards and sort of scooped it over his own bar. I don't know if he meant to do that. I think it's just sort of hit his fist and got over the bar backwards. Very peculiar save, but it's worked. Who cares? Corner now, Sevilla. Whipped in. Dealt with by Arsenal. The keeper was up. The keeper's up. Go on then. Keep it in. Eddie Nketiah. Wanlu's done well. That's a foul by Eddie as well, but Arsenal will take it. It was like he was playing volleyball. And the Arsenal crossbar was the net. Wanlu. Wanlu. Oh, that's too hard a ball. Just get it in the mixer, you tit. Rice deals with it down the line. A minute left. Acuna now going to whip it in the mixer. Here we go. Raya comes for it. Should be his all day. And it is. Awful cross from Acuna. He's got so lucky there, Raya. He's literally done the Superman, and it's just come off the wrong part of his fist and gone over his own bar. He's shaky. I don't think Ramsdale makes that error. It's not even an error, is it really? But you know what I mean. It doesn't fill your defence with the most confidence, does it? That kind of goalkeeping. But he's the number one, that's for sure. It looks like Arteta's going to stick with him through thick and thin. Nice ball by Havertz down the line for Nketiah, who should just see out the clock. He must be crapping himself with Sergio Ramos coming near him. And there you go, Sergio Ramos pushes him over, but the referee gives nothing. Should be full time. Long throw by Acuna down the wing. Saliba half deals with it. They've hooked it forward, Kiwa away. It's on the halfway line. Gotta be now or never for Sevilla. A long crossfield ball for Ocampos, who's unmarked. Oh, that's full time, surely. He's through on that right channel inside the 18-yard box with the referee's whistle towards his lips. And he shanks it. Should have gone across the goalkeeper if he could. High, wide and Hansen at the near post. Good win for the Arsenal. On the road, I think they just about deserved it. Maybe. Taking the whole 90 minutes into consideration, I think they just about edged it, although Sevilla were definitely the better side in the second half. Basically, Samare in the first half is the best player in the world. Oh my God, did I say 2-1 to the Arsenal? Did I predict 2-1 to the Arsenal? It's happened again. I say a scoreline. I don't put my money where my mouth is. I can't believe it. It's the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, Europa? Whichever secondary European competition final it was, it's happened again. Anyway, right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel for when the next streams will be and when other video content goes live. Leave the stream a like before you leave if you haven't already. So yeah, just thank you very much. Good win for Arsenal. We'll see you all very soon indeed. Good night, everybody. God bless. Godspeed. Up the arse.